Speak of is beyond my computational range, but my emotional analysis indicates additionally. Calculations indicate a 96.4% probability of compliance.
Your calculations are heirs to our future cooperation.
The miners here, huddled together. Anyone else getting deja vu?
Well, the situation here is pretty similar to when you first arrived. It's just that instead of a few thugs and broken robots, now we're dealing with much more formidable—
Hey, check it out! Isn't that Topaz's little trotter over there? Oh, what was it?
What? Isn't that thing a fragmentum monster?
The IPC are all about their sci-fi sorcery, so it's not that surprising. What? Sounds like you two are getting along. What's Numby's thing? Seriously? You actually—
Look, you guys. Looks like
looks like they want to find their master. Let's follow them.
Help! Those people dressed in black are attacking us!
Hey, I'm talking to you. Where do you guys store the Geomarrow?
I really don't know anything!
This place is filled with nothing but incompetent.
Those cowards! I guess they want to do this the hard way. What a head! Only a scratch! Not a scratch.
And forward!
Lunar flame. Blade of moonlight. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next?
And forward!
A sharp scythe needs targets.
Uh-huh. Looks like Numby's in a good mood.
But aren't they on the IPC side? Strange.
Look! That big guy down there. Is he the one in charge?
We'll see who's really in charge. Let's go!
Huh? Where'd Numby go?
Wow. For something so short and stubby, they're surprisingly nimble. Well, guess that's that. We're on our own now. Let's keep going. Hey, you! Are you in charge around here?
All local. The IPC is currently conducting asset evaluation work here. Local residents.
Don't lie to us. You seized the mine by force for yourself. I'm warning you. Get lost or suffer the consequences. Don't you dare show your...
And who might you be? You have quite the attitude. This is our jurisdiction. You know Topaz? It doesn't matter. The Strategic Investment Department has no obligation to talk to anyone not related to this project. In cases where debtors fail to repay within the set time frame, the IPC reserves the right to skip negotiations and take over all assets.
You know, it's funny how the rules always seem to work in your favor, don't you think? This world's been hanging...
Don't blame me. I'm simply following orders. Do you think...
Save your breath, March. I never held out any hope of resolving this problem. Didn't you claim the IPC was all-powerful? Well, now's the perfect chance.
If I knew things were gonna get this heated, I'd have applied for overtime. Anyway, since you seem intent on settling this matter with violence, prepare yourselves.
Great.
In lunar flame.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Blade of me.
Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
What's in your prescription?
Only a scratch.
In lunar flame. Blade of me.
Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next? Who's next?
Try harder.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Kill me.
What's in your prescription? Vitamin!
In lunar flame. Blade of me.
sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
In lunar flame. Blade of moon.
Who's next?
Try harder.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Land forward! Who's next?
What's in your prescription?
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Blade of moon.
Who are you people? Not even our tech could take you down.
We took down the Doomsday Beast, the Stellaron, and Fantilia. Did you really think you could stop us?
Darn it. I'm all out of ammo.
Sir, we've just received word from the director.
Director Topaz? What did she say?
Teams are not to disrupt the lives of local inhabitants during the asset evaluation period. Teams that violate this directive will have their year-end bonuses reduced by 60%!
60%? We're done for. Attention all personnel. Evacuate the mine immediately. Erase all traces of your presence.
So, are we all good here, or what?
Yeah. Judging by the looks on their faces, I don't think they'll be back. So, who is this Topaz anyway? She seems to have no problem ordering these idiots around. Or taming fragmentum creatures, for that matter.
It's a long story.
Why did this mess have to happen so close to the festivities? The timing couldn't have been any worse.
Oh, looks like we've got a message. I get the feeling Branya's worried about something. Are you coming with us?
Go on without me. Branya messaged you, which means she thinks you can help. I trust her judgment.
Got it, Zila. We'll do what we can to help Branya out. Come on, to Klipoth Fort.
These guys?
Don't look pleased to see us.
By order of the Supreme Guardian, proceed no further. Miss Topaz.
Billabong might be in arrears, but I'm out of pocket. See you later, Captain.
Welcome back. I appreciate your help more than I can express. It couldn't have been easy running all over the city.
That's what friends are for, Branya. You don't sound like yourself. Is something wrong?
I'm fine. I haven't rested in a while. They're moving quickly. Belobog is crawling with their agents. All they talk about is asset evaluation. The silver lining is that apart from the mine incident you mentioned, there haven't been any major conflicts in other areas. I suppose Topaz must have issued an order against harassing the citizenry. Still, that hasn't stopped panic from building. People are confused. They don't know where these strangers in black came from, nor what their intentions are.
Did you manage to get in touch with Topaz again? We're curious to know what solutions she has in mind.
That's the reason I asked for you to come here. I need your advice. Look.
It's...
The contract Topaz sent to me a little while ago. There's a handwritten letter attached. Please take a look at the contents, and then tell me your thoughts.
Miss Branya, if you'll permit me to call you that, I'd like to share a story with you from my own life. In your eyes, the IPC may seem heartless or cruel, but in reality, we all have a story to tell. As for myself, I was born on a small, unremarkable planet at the edge of the galaxy. My home planet was extremely resource poor. To survive, people worked laboriously, manufacturing products for other civilizations in the galaxy, mostly in chemical or heavy industries. Given these circumstances, the natural environment of my home planet became increasingly harsh. I don't recall the exact moment when it happened, but people started wearing respirators just to walk down the street. All you could hear were the wheezing coughs of the people, day and night. My home was facing its demise. The relatively wealthy chose interstellar migration and started anew. The majority who stayed could only struggle. Finally, one fateful day, the IPC arrived on my home planet. They had the technology to repair our planet's damaged environment. In return for their help, they asked for just one thing: that all inhabitants sign a contract. 2 years after signing the contract, the dark clouds and haze disappeared, and people began to take off their masks. After 3 years, vegetation and trees began to grow and thrive again. After 5 years, many animals, previously on the brink of extinction, reappeared. When I was finally old enough, I officially became a member of the Strategic Investment Department. I witnessed the changes that took place on my homeworld and was determined to bring the same changes to many other worlds in the galaxy. I am writing to you, Miss Branya, with the genuine desire to I know freedom is precious to people, but in reality, there are things of much greater. How many generations of Belobogians will it take to embrace the stars again without assistance? Who can guarantee that every future guardian will be as prudent and enlightened as you? How can I have already negotiated the best possible deal for you? Once you sign this contract, all of Belobog's debts will be forgiven. I can understand that for you, this is an extremely difficult decision but because of this, I believe that you will make the right decision.
Her words do sound quite sincere. What do you make of it?
Yes, she is a high-ranking member of the IPC, after all. She knows how to use words to her advantage. In any case, she wasn't wrong when she said this would be an extremely difficult decision. This planet's fate, the civilization it carries, everything that's happened here and everything that will happen, it all rests in my hands. This definitely can't, and shouldn't, be a decision made by me alone. That thought has crossed my mind, and it comforts me to hear you say that.
Right. I don't think it's fair for you to carry the weight alone. Why not discuss it with others first?
Topaz hasn't given me much time to consider. She wants me to decide as soon as possible. I wanted to put it to a vote, and let all the citizens of both the overworld and the underworld have their say. But with such little time, I'm afraid that's a lost cause. I'll convene the Klapoth Fort architects immediately to discuss the contract. As for the locals, I'd like you to gauge their stance on the matter. The people of Belobog hold both of you in high regard. They'll most certainly be willing to tell you their thoughts. Yes, we need to move fast.
We've got your back. We failed to convince Topaz, but this should be a piece of...
Thank you, March. I'll assemble the ministers. Let's meet up here again later.
All right. If we want to make an informed decision, we need to hear from both the overworld and the underworld.
Huh?
Careful now. Don't get your clothes wet.
We meet again. How have you two been? Uh-oh. That look on your face tells me something's wrong. I hope it's nothing too serious. Sounds serious. I'm all ears. Really? You better not be making things up. I wish it were made up. Unfortunately, it's all true. We don't have much time, Kayla. Branya wants to get everyone's opinion. Wait, you're telling me I have to make this huge decision on the spot? At least give me a few seconds to think it over. Okay, I think I've got it. If it were up to me, I'd probably agree to the IPC's conditions. Huh. Okay. Any particular reason? I've looked at some of the climate reports, and based on the data I've seen, it'll take 3 or 4 more generations for the snow to completely subside. And that's assuming no other disasters occur. I care more about those in the present than a future I can't be sure of. If the IPC is able to bring about immediate change, then I think that's building a better world for future generations sounds great, right? But is it any fun for the engineers and architects who are direct? I see. So compared to a distant and uncertain future, what you really care about is making sure the people around you have a good life. Thanks for your input. I'll make a note of your opinion.
Don't get your clothes... Careful now. Don't get your clothes wet.
Well, look who we have here. You and Marge paying us a visit. What's the occasion? Uh-oh. Sounds like something serious is happening. You'd better fill me in. What? How is that possible? I need a moment to wrap my head around this.
Serval, we're racing against the clock. No time for head wrapping.
It's okay. I've thought it through. If it were up to me...
What? Hold on, are you serious? I thought you'd be against it for sure.
Surprised? My reasons are pretty simple. Signing this contract would mean we no longer have to worry about surviving. For most of the residents here, especially those in the underworld, that would be more than enough to persuade them. As for working for the company, people need to work no matter where they are, right? If the IPC tries to take too many liberties, we can always rise up against them. You know, I've always longed for the stars since I was a child, which is why I devoted myself to science and the studying of the Stellaron. If someone told me that I could do whatever research I wanted with only a small price to pay, I probably wouldn't...
I see. I suppose that... Thanks for your input. I'll make a note of your opinion.
You should seek the Silvermane Guards for matters of civil litigation.
Is that the Trailblazers? It's been a while. I didn't think you'd be back in Belobog so soon. It's been pretty hectic in the city lately. All these people dressed in black suddenly showed up, and even the Silvermane Guards have had trouble dealing with them. You need my opinion? I'm happy to help. So that's who they are. It's worse than I imagined. The Madam Guardian must be under a lot of pressure. Is there really nothing we can do to assist her?
We're here to gather everyone's opinion on the matter. I know this is a little sudden, but we're running out of time. What's your take?
Why, I'd refuse the contract, of course. There is no room for compromise. Just look at them. Arrogant, stomping around here as if they own the place. How can such people be trusted? Who's to say they won't breach the contract? Faced with this sort of coercion, we must resist them with all our might. Surrendering is not an option. You must warn the Madam Guardian not to allow herself to fall into their trap.
A soldier's perspective is always valuable, Dunn. Thanks for your input. I'll make a note of your opinion. Did we miss anyone in the overworld? I think we asked just about everyone we needed to. From what I've gathered, it seems...
Let's take it in turns. You rest. I'll stand guard.
What brings you two to the underworld? And why the long face? Seems a little out of the blue, but since you came all this way, it must be urgent. Go ahead. That is a lot of information to take in. Sorry, both of you. I know you're in a hurry, but I need a moment to think.
No stress, Nat. Just tell us what you really think.
I've thought about it, and... well, if I were Bronya, I wouldn't sign it. I won't deny the offer on the table is a very tempting one. And if we refuse, Belobog will not only have the burden of a huge debt, we may also incite the wrath of a very powerful force. But even so, a quote I read back in school came to me just now. Those who are willing to give up living in the underworld has taught me that this phrase is true. I'd rather trek through the frigid snow plains than live in a beautiful cage.
Wow, that's a pretty convincing argument. Another vote for the against pile. Thanks for your insight.
None other than the saviors of Belobog. To what do I owe the pleasure? To be honest, but I can tell by the look on your faces you're probably not dropping by to say hi. Let me guess. Something to do with these unruly people in black showing up everywhere? Well, ask away. It just so happens I'm curious about them myself. I see. That's a tricky situation, all right. A lot for anyone to handle, let alone someone as young as Lady Bronya.
Mr. Oleg, out of all the people we know in Belobog, you have the most life experience. What do you...
Want to hear the truth? I'm afraid great ambitions and lofty plans no longer hold much appeal for an old-timer like me. If this IPC does indeed possess the magical power to restore Belobog back to its former self, have you considered the opposite? What about if we refuse? The reconstruction plan already sounds like an endless endeavor. And with the added burden of what worries me the most is how Lady Bronya will handle the backlash from her people. Will she be able to withstand the criticism? Is she prepared to carry the weight of a
I guess I never looked at it from that angle. I wouldn't wish... Thank you for your thoughts, Mr. Oleg. Another... sister. What brings you to the underworld? Hey there, Clara. Is Svarog not around? Mr. Svarog went out for a walk with a lady called Topaz. What? Topaz? Do you know where they went? I'm not sure, but Mr. Svarog promised he'd be back soon. What now? Svarog's super logical. We should definitely get his opinion. True. Don Hung's always saying that Clara's really insightful for her age. Miss March, do you want to ask me something? That's It's all right, Clara. No pressure. I think if we have a choice for the future, because when I was playing with Hook, the moles, and the other kids, everyone has different dreams. If we accept Miss Topaz's offer, then doesn't that mean our dreams will never come true? Just taking away people's dreams like that. I don't know. It feels wrong. You're right. Children see the world as a place where anything is possible. Just the thought of our lives being predestined from birth makes me shiver. Thanks, Clara. Your thoughts mean a lot to us. All that running around has worn me out. So, the votes are completely even. I don't know what to do. Oh, right! We haven't asked. She's probably still in the Great Mine helping the miners. Come on, let's.
Back so soon? Any news? Are you feeling all right? You look a little uneasy. Important matter, huh? I can tell from your tone that this isn't gonna be a lighthearted chat. But I'm ready to hear it. I think I get it. At first, I thought... Yeah, you didn't think the future of Belobog was at stake, right? Right. I need a little... As it stands, the votes are even. Your opinion... In that case... I abstain. What? I've thought about it. This responsibility rests on Bronya's shoulders. No matter the choice she makes, she has far greater foresight than I do. She can see the bigger picture more clearly than I can. The vote is tied. If I were to give you my view, it would tip the scales and possibly impact her final choice. I'll respect whatever decision she makes, but it's not my place to make... Understood, Zila. This is a difficult decision to make. It's times like these that a leader must stand up and do what's needed. Right. It's Bronya's decision. She knows what's at stake. She won't run up if she asks you. Just let her know my reasoning. She'll understand. Well, it's all in Bronya's hands. Right? I'm glad Belobog has someone like... the time has come. Let's go, Filler. Let's take it in turns. You rest. I'll stand guard.
Whoa, the fort's packed. I've never seen this many people here before. Oh, jeez, I can barely even hear.
March, you're back. So, what's the verdict? What do the people think?
We talked to people in both the overworld and the underworld.
I see. I suppose everyone has their own way of seeing things. I can't say. What was Zila's perspective on the matter? I should have known. That sounds like...
Did you come to a conclusion with the ministers? Oh, it's so loud I can't tell what anyone's saying.
It's pretty much the same situation here. Neither party is willing to compromise. The time has come to make a decision. This chaos...
Enough! All of you! I know what to do.
Wait! I have something to say to the Supreme Guardian.
But... aren't you?
Himeko? Wait, is that the real you or a hologram?
It's the real me, March. Real as they come.
Miss Himeko, from the Astral Express? It's an honor. Thank you for all your help in our... If we had known of your arrival beforehand, the architects would have given you a proper welcome. I'm afraid the current circumstances are quite
I understand, Miss Branya. No need to explain. Your city is facing immense difficulties. My intention is simply to ensure that you have all the relevant intel. The life of a navigator is a busy one. You should be glad that I made it in time. There is some important information that I must pass on to you, Supreme Guardian. It is my hope that it will better equip you to make a wise and informed decision.
Information? Please, tell me what you know, Miss Himeko.
I happen to have a friend with knowledge of Topaz. What Topaz said about her home world is indeed true, which is why she believes that the IPC's takeover of Belobog is the only way of ensuring the city's survival. But there is one thing she intentionally left out. Not all worlds that have accepted the IPC's terms have been saved.
You mean...
Performing ecological reconstruction on a planet carries inevitable risks. According to the intel provided by my friend, the success rate for the ecological reconstruction of worlds using the IPC's technology...
Only 63% of planets succeed? That's not exactly comforting.
This is the overall average across all IPC projects. The success rate of projects personally handled by Topaz is above 80%. She's undoubtedly one of the most capable people in her field. I wanted to bring these numbers, these probabilities, to light. I think it's only fair that you know all the facts before making a decision. Ultimately, it's up to you, Supreme Guardian, to make the final call.
I understand. Thank you, Miss Himeko. Regardless of how alluring their promises may be, this contract is nothing more than a gamble. As a leader, I cannot...
Now that you've decided, I don't have to pretend to be impartial anymore. I think you're making the right choice, Branya.
Astral friends, I have an idea, but for it to work, I need some time to rally all the residents in the city. And then, please locate her for me. It doesn't matter where she is or what she's doing. And if the IPC is still trying to take over Belobog's assets, I ask that you do
Don't worry. Leave it to us. We'll find her. It won't be easy dealing with her, but these two will help me get the job done.
Belobog's future is not for sale. And we'll never forget the friends who stood by us in our time of need. Not once, but twice. Stay safe, everyone.
Shepard should be waiting for us in Rivet Town, right? Here we go again. Back to our old stomping grounds for...